see more buying. Come on. Shorts are going to have to cover into this order. So as soon as we start depleting this at a rapid pace, it should go. And I'm thinking right about now.
Order filled.
There we
Order
go.
filled.
Perfect. Hey traders, what you just saw was a clip from my live stream this morning. I'm actually going to break that clip down further later in this video. As most of you know, all of my entries and exits are solely based on the level 2 and the tape. So in this video, I'm going to break down all of my entries and exits from today and show you exactly what I was looking for. I was up about $200 today. We had a couple nice trades, so let's get into it. All right, so our first trade here is a short trade. I didn't actually take this, but somebody mentioned in the comments in one of my previous videos that they'd like to see more short setups. So here you go. This is a short setup. This is 40% speed. And here is 314, large buyer at 314. So below 314, and you can assume that we're probably going back to the lows. And the reason I can assume that is because we've had a couple wick highs, lots of wick highs. We just opened the day. We put in a massive wick here. We're testing near the lows. There's just a large order sitting at 314. So if 314 can break, my guess is we're going to break the low. So let's watch and see what happens here. Again, we're watching for that 314 break. We want to see lots of red over here on the time and sales into 314. And as we come down, I think my trade station actually lags. So you can see all the red, and there was so much selling that my trade station actually lagged. You can see that the current trading is happening at 310. My bid and ask, or my bid was up at 314. So yeah, we come all the way down to 307. We get a little bounce. And one thing I want to point out here, as we bounce, I think we're going to bounce up to 314 and watch it get slammed back down to 310. Right there. Huge order comes in at 310 as it gets slammed back down. So I'm going to pause the video. And really quick, if I were a large seller, I had lots of shares to get out, I wouldn't just put them on the ask above current price. I would wait for price to get above where I want to sell, and I would slam it back down. And I would say, look, if price gets to 315, my goal is to get out at 310, and I'm just going to sell into all the people who are above 310 until we get to 310. And 310 is the lowest that I want to sell. So I always look for those spots where the price gets slammed back down and then we see a big ask right where price got slammed back down. That tells me that there's somebody who's looking to get out of a larger position. All right, here's our next trade. We're popping up to the high of day. We've got a lot of momentum, about 700,000 shares of volume traded on what I believe is a 1-minute candle. So we're popping up to the high of day. And as we come back down, I thought we were going to break 560 there. We didn't. As we come back down, I see a large order. I see 350 at 556. Again, we have the momentum at our back, so I just hop in here, hoping that we can continue. I've got this large buyer that I can sell into if I start to see it get depleted, which I do, so I sell out there. And we don't go any lower. We crack it, but we don't go any lower. Again, we're wicking back up, so I say, you know what? I think we're going to go higher. I hop right back in. And let's see if we can get the pop. There's another bid that comes in at 557. And on that pop, I get out 564, so about a $60 winner. I did take a $20 loss before that. Small share size, only 1,000 shares. This one was pretty whippy, and I wasn't totally confident on that trade. As you saw, I took it, and I didn't really have a backstop until that buyer came in the latter part of that trade. All right, so a little after the trade that I just showed you, FGI ended up squeezing into a halt near the high of day. So this was a halt I was interested in buying the resumption of. So I actually put out a limit order for 300 shares at 601. I was willing to get filled as high as 601 on this particular unhalt. And I'll play this and you'll see what happens at the unhalt. I think we're going to unhalt here any second. And boom, we got unhalted. I actually got filled at 581, tried to buy more on the dip, and then partialed out on the rip. This ripped up pretty good. So ended up getting about 80 bucks, give or take, on this one. Now this particular halt was called out in the Discord under the enhanced halt scanner. So you can get free access to this. There's a 10-day free trial. And it'll just call out halts that are interesting. Halts that should open and continue higher. And this was one of those. So on this one, we were testing 320. There was a larger order at 320. definitely not near the highs. Okay volume, 453,000 shares on a 1 minute candle. Not the greatest, but it looked like it was curling. We were getting the squeeze through VWAP, had some momentum. We pulled back to 315. You can see a larger order there. It was holding, and as we started to see green, I bought in at 317. I was looking for this to push through 320, and I think as this came back down to 317, I ended up getting out. Let's watch here. So what happened is we blipped down to 317. I said, okay, I got to get out at break even. And then this massive buyer showed up at 319, 381 at 319. And I was already getting out of my position, unfortunately. So, and then here we go. Oh, I actually had 1,000 shares on me still. So as that buyer came in and pushed price up, I ended up just getting out of the rest of my shares through the break of 320. All right, this is the last trade, and this was the same trade that you saw at the very beginning of the video. In this case, we had on IINN a very large seller, about 188,000 shares, and there was a lot of manipulation on the stock, I'm going to be honest. This seller kept lowering the price on their order. They kept stepping down price. So every time price went lower, they stepped down their order. And this was a massive, massive order. 153,000 shares, that's a good amount of shares, especially on a $3 stock. You're talking about like $450,000 worth of capital, $500,000. So I was waiting for this order to eventually break. And let me show you the clip here. So before I hit the play button, you can see the order that's at 309 now. We've got 1,200 sitting there at 309. And we had just started to see some strength on the bid. So I'm thinking, okay, this might be where it breaks. And I'm looking for this to get wiped out really quickly, because as the seller was stepping down their order, shorts were probably getting interested against that level. So sellers are getting enticed, and where's their stop? It's right above that order. So as this order starts to get depleted, I'm looking for shorts to start covering into it and above it, and you'll see that happen here. So as I play this, let's watch 309. Let's watch for green over here. Let's watch for this to get depleted. Again, we're at 40% speed right here. So I'm waiting. I want to be the last one in this thing right before it breaks. Good depletion, lots of green, and right there I get in. Nice pop, and boom, I'm out at 313. Easiest $40 I think I've ever made in my life. And we've got another bid that shows up here at 251. So I say, you know what, let's take a shot in front of this giant bid. Get in at 3 at 11. My risk is about 2 cents. Let's see if this pops back up. Waiting, bids are building, that's good. We see green, nice, we pop up, and I think I get out half here at 313. So I'm out half at 313, the rest is break even, and I think it's gonna pop back down to break even. We didn't get continuation here, so I'm out the rest here at my break even price. And that was a good way to end the day. So thanks for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already, please like the video. Let me know if you like it in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.